Every last person on the team is part of the sales team. We're all part of the brand ambassador team. And what that means is,
welcome to the Sold Out Sales Podcast, the podcast that will equip both the seasoned sales professional and the more reluctant seller with mindset shifts and strategies needed to succeed in a competitive marketplace.
hey there, this is Tish Times, and I'm so grateful that you chose to listen to the Sold Out Sales Podcast. Today, you get me. I want to talk to you specifically about being a part of the sales team, even if you're not. And this episode is really going to be really valuable for those of you all who own a business, who lead a team, and you have people on the team who probably don't see themselves as part of the sales team. They might be your receptionist. They might be your customer service person. This might be you also. So you might also find tremendous value in it. But I really want to talk about what I call the reluctant sales team member, the person who doesn't see themselves as needing to sell, wanting to sell, or realizing that they have a part in the sales process.
What makes a reluctant team member to sell?
Yeah. So I think that people, they probably aren't calling themselves reluctant sales members or team members, right? And I doubt that you would call yourself that. But I call a person a reluctant salesperson when they say things to themselves like, sales is not part of my job. I just want to do my thing. I'm really good at what I do. I'm not part of the sales team. I don't need to sell. Not realizing that every last person on the team is part of the sales team. We're all part of the brand ambassador team. And what that means is we get to help add dollars to the bottom lines by doing exactly what we do really well. That might mean identifying those, what I call sales cues, when someone might say that they need more of what they're currently buying. And we often say, it'll be on sale next week or something, instead of recognizing the opportunity to invite them to make a purchase now or to pre-buy something or things along those lines. So you may not be reluctant, meaning you're not saying I don't want to do it, so much as you're just not doing it because you don't feel like it's part of your job.
So how can I rethink my sales strategy?
So if you're rethinking your sales strategy, especially as one of the owners of the business or a department team lead, then you're rethinking your sales strategy by removing the word sales from the conversation. Because the moment you tell someone that they have to sell and they didn't get hired for sales, then they're automatically going to put that wall up. They're automatically going to feel like they're being forced to do something that they don't want to do. And I'll give you a perfect example. When I was in the world of staffing many years ago, I had a boss who technically tricked me into being a part of the sales team because she created a position for me that enabled me to do what I loved doing already, which was building relationships and helping people to get what they ultimately wanted by having deeper conversations. And so by creating an environment that enabled me to help my clients get more of what they wanted, it actually added dollars to the bottom line. It helped the company to flourish overall. And so you might change your sales strategy by changing the way that you communicate what you want your team members to be doing, even if it's part of the sales strategy.
Okay, but how do we actually make this a reality in our business?
Yeah, sometimes we think that it's always good in theory when we talk about creating more sales members, if you will, as a part of the team. But the way that we create this as a reality in our business is, number one, we have conversations about it. And we help people to understand on our team what the vision is for the company. What is the mission? Why are we here? How do we really bring about some type of transformation in the lives of the people that we're serving? And when people are clear on why they do what they do, you'd be amazed at how much more compliant, willing, and sometimes excited they are to do what what you're asking them to do. So having those deeper conversations, being really clear about why you're asking them to help identify more opportunities is the first step. The second step is to put a plan in place and give them the tools and the language to be able to do exactly what you're asking them to do. By telling someone, you need to make more sales or you need to listen for these sales cues, that's not a plan. But by teaching someone what to listen for, how to communicate, the solution that they're supposed to be talking about, maybe some technology tools that help them to know how to do it, making it easy for them, and then showing them what it looks like when they do these things that you've asked them to do. And then in some cases, rewarding them because they've done it. So you can put it in place, but you actually have to create a plan and a reward system in order for it to work within your business.
So just one plan, one reward system, right? I treat every employee the same?
Not at all. Absolutely. We can't treat every person the same. And this is, I think about coming from the staffing world. I remember when I was hired as an area manager for a local staffing company. And I remember the very first thing that I did was I walked up to one of our team members, and she had a desk drawer that just happened to be open. And I saw a big stack of gift cards. They were like for Massage Envy, they were for spas, all the things that I personally love. And I remember asking her, I said, Maria, why do you have this big stack of, gift cards in your desk? And she says, well, I want it because I hit my sales goal, or I made this, conversion and people were really happy about it. I said, no, I didn't ask you how you got them. I asked you why they're still in your desk. Why haven't you actually used them? And she said, well, that's not my thing. I don't really like that kind of stuff. I don't like those types of things. I would have much preferred a gift card to the movie theater or a day off or something like that. So I immediately realized that not everyone is incentivized the same way. Not everyone is, excited about the same thing. So in my experience, I did a survey in my company and I asked my team members, if you were to hit this goal, what would you prefer? Would it be a half day off? Would it be an opportunity to have a potluck in the office? Would it be, something different? And then I rewarded them based on what they actually wanted. And it was a game changer. They were so excited to do what I've asked them to do because now they're going to get rewarded with what they've asked for instead of what I imagined or assumed that they wanted.
It's powerful. So once you're done your program, does the training just end?
Absolutely not. So when someone goes through our Reluctant Sales Team program, and it's an actual training, it's a full day. We do a networking evening first and help people to learn how to communicate, how to connect, how to build great relationships, and then how to convert based on those relationships as well. And we have a full day of training. But then thereafter, we actually work with that team for about 12 weeks, helping them to implement all of the things that they actually learn within that training. And so it is a powerful way to not only, have these great ideas and create these incentives and reward programs, but showing you how to put them into practice in a way that works best for your company, because what works for XYZ company may not work as well for a different type of organization. So, no, we don't teach you and then drop you off and hope that it works out well for you. We actually come into your organization, understand a little bit more about the team that you have and what they're looking for, what they need to be successful, and then help you to implement based on that.
Okay, so really though, why and how does this work?
Yeah. So it works because, number one, our goal is to help people that have teams that, again, may not realize that they too can help the company to grow, to flourish, to prosper. We give them tools to be able to use their own personality, their own style, their own unique gifts to still be a part of the quote unquote sales team. So it works because they're doing what they love doing already in most cases. They're just doing it in a way that really benefits the company. I would dare say that companies that, number one, identify opportunities for their team to participate in a way that feels great to them and to the person that they're talking to. When we identify those and then show them how to utilize them consistently, show them how to get these small wins, which lead to big wins, it works for the entire company. Everybody wins. The team member feels like they're adding value, they're being rewarded, and they want to do it over and over again. So it's really important, I think, for owners, for managers to not only create these types of programs, but to put them in place in a way that's most natural for the individual.
So how can we take action? How can we get a part of this?
So I will tell you this, obviously, if your company feels like, this is something we absolutely need. We're not sure why our numbers are down or they're flat or we're not having, great conversion or a conversion has dropped. Obviously, you can reach out to our company directly, Tish Times Sales Agency. You can go to tishtimes.com. And we'd be happy to have what we call a sales assessment to really identify what those gaps are. But if you're literally saying, I need that program. I know I want my team to be a part of this training. Then go to tishtimes.com/make more sales. And you're going to find our upcoming events that we're having. Most of them are being held in the Phoenix area, but we will be doing them across the nation. We'll have some virtual opportunities as well. But tishtimes.com/make more sales. And you can get all the details as to how you and your team can participate and what that looks like on an ongoing basis for those people that participate.
And so when's the next event?
The next event is March 12th and 13th, 2025, and it's being held in Phoenix, Arizona. The first night, as I said, is a networking event, very structured, very intentional networking event. And then the next day is a very interactive but intense, meaning training, meaning that the people will be able to interact with each other. They'll be able to learn tremendous tips and tools and techniques that they'll be able to implement immediately. So I invite you to come March 12th and 13th here in Phoenix, Arizona.
And what would be the biggest things that you think people take away with that? What would be the one takeaway if there was only one thing that you know for a fact?
I know for certain people who've participated in this training in the past, they have literally said, number one, this is not like any other sales training I've ever attended, because they immediately assume that they're going to be told you need to make more calls or you need to say these specific things, you need to read the script, and that's not at all what we're doing. They will walk away with ways to be uniquely, authentically themselves and still feel like they are adding value. They're adding to the production of productivity and profitability within the organization. And they feel like, wow, I am a part of this team. I'm not, the sales team is not doing this and I'm just kind of doing my own job. They feel like I actually am making a difference in this organization, and they love being able to do that.
Closing thoughts?
I would just say, if you are one of the, people that we've mentioned, and you feel like, I love being a customer service rep. I've been there. I loved my cubicle. I loved helping put people to work when I had my role at the staffing company. And I don't feel like, I didn't feel like I was a salesperson and kind of was offended by the fact that someone wanted me to sell. I would just say this. If you love helping people and you know that you're really good at what you do, this is something that's going to take what you do well to the next level and allow you to be more promotable, allow you to be, to feel like you're a more valued member of the team. It's a game changer for your career. So you definitely want to come and participate with this training.
Thanks for listening to the Sold Out Sales Podcast. I would be so appreciative if you would show me and my amazing guests some love by leaving a review on your favorite podcasting platform. Also, go over to tishtimes.com/resource page and make sure you pick up your sales and networking handbook, especially for introverts. Also, I'd love to continue this conversation, so make sure you connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I'll see you back here next week.